We finally made it to Florida.
We're in Florida.
Yeah, and we are in the Everglades right now.
Yeah.
And we're actually surrounded by 3 alligators right now. Let's go check them out. Number 1. Number 2. And I startled the 3rd one. Sorry, buddy. He's right over there. Didn't mean to startle you.
Florida, specifically Ocala National Forest. Our journey starts in this 1,570 square kilometer park, and we would go to spend many days here and see more wildlife than we can count. From an all-day highway drive to backcountry dirt roads, we look for our spot to call home for the night. Eventually, we come across this gem of a campsite in and among the Florida pines and the beautiful live oak trees.
This place is pretty cool. Finally made it to Florida. Here we are. It's the first night in Florida.
A little awestruck at the contrast from the Canadian forest that I'm used to, we can't wait to explore this exotic land.
We're not alone. Hello.
But the sun still sets early, and we have to wait for tomorrow before we can see what Ocala has to offer.
Good morning. We spent our first night in Florida. We are now in the Ocala National Forest. We didn't sleep much last night because there was just so much going on, lots of rumbling in the bush. We saw a black bear, we saw an armadillo, and then we also were staring at a stray cat for an hour, which we thought was a raccoon. So it was quite an eventful night. And we're going to check out the area the whole day, and that's going to be really nice. But sadly enough, as you can see, people litter the place a lot, so I'm just gonna clean it up before we go. All done. I just wish people would clean up after themselves. Let's go.
The first place we went to was Juniper Springs. While we didn't come here for wildlife, we were still blown away for a whole nother reason.
Check out the water. It's so clear.
What are we looking at?
Oh wow.
That's cool.
Those are the hot springs coming up?
Yeah. I believe it is the water coming from underneath the ground, like it's a spring. So it's ground-fed water. Really beautiful, clear water. This is crazy.
That's so freaking cool.
The area wasn't free, however. Even nature is unfortunately monetized. But the beautiful pristine water was also a swimming hole. And of course, Lindsay couldn't resist getting her feet wet. Florida is full of these springs. We visited a few, and swam in each one we visited though. Lindsay, I think she enjoyed it a bit more than me. We decided it was time to go, so after a free pedicure and looking at some turtles, we head out.
our first alligator. There's a tiny, tiny alligator right here. It looks no more than maybe a meter. It's right there.
You never forget your first gator. Doing our own safari, we ended up spotting quite a lot of wildlife in Florida. Such as these young alligators suntanning with mom. These tiny anole lizards are absolutely everywhere in Florida, while these scrub lizards are not. The cormorant waterbird seems to be almost as abundant as the amount of fish in the water. These giant, fearless birds are aptly named whooping cranes. Great egrets are common across all of Florida. The roseate spoonbill is a rather uncommon waterbird to spot. We were lucky to have witnessed one in its natural habitat.
You might be able to see this on the camera, you might not. There is a big spider right here. Can you see him? Oh yeah. Creepy. I'm not a fan of spiders, so yeah.
We end up only seeing the fins of dolphins from shore, and only partly seeing some manatee, or as they're called locally, the sea cow. In the next video, we go swimming again, in the spring as well, but with a manatee. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on that action.
The first sighting of manatees ever in real life. Oh, and they're gone.
And he's gone.
That's it.
There was a second one though.
That's
Oh, there's
all.
two, there's two,
Oh,
there's two.
oh, there is.
You can barely see it because of the rain.
Bye.
We had a blast in Florida, and Ocala was definitely one of the highlights. A must-see if you're in the area. And our truck performed perfectly on the sandy backgrounds of Ocala on our little safari. Too bad the mapping apps didn't. Time to turn around and find a camp somewhere else.
It's a self-serve pay station. You need to be honest, people. Kind of rude that they crossed out 10 and added 12 though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got $2 extra for them anyway.
Numbers are a bit confusing, but you got this, Travis.
Figured it out. Let's go. Ta-da!
At our camp for the night, the first thing we always do is check to see if our camper is level. If not, we place the max tracks perfectly.
Wait. Yeah.
We place the max tracks perfectly so we can have the best sleep we can. And just like that, our few days in Ocala is up. Next, we hit the city. We did see a lot more wildlife than filmed here, so go over to Just Trav'lin at Instagram and Facebook to see the stuff that didn't make the cut.
But before we move on with our journey, there was one last thing to do.
Yep, we were in the area. We had to go check out the big city of Miami.
It was a quick visit, but this is how it went.
It is time to cool off.
It was a hot day, really hot. Oh, the hottest day we've had so far on our trip.
Yes.
28 degrees plus, plus humidity. Let's go swimming.
Let's go.
It's so salty.
How elegant. Woohoo! Oh, that's a
Yeah. Nice. Ooh.
Love it.
As far as cities go, at least it's not Boston. Next week, we swim with manatees and have some major electrical issues. So tune in at the same place to not miss out on all the fun.